Hello, now some data concepts to avoid confusion and speak as clearly as possible. Data concepts, clarifying once and again. Here is a set where data curation is the universe. The main subsets of the data curation set are data harmonization, data quality, and data movement. Data movement Data movement is a special kind of subset. Later, I will go in a little bit deeper on it. Data harmonization has its own subsets, data cleansing and data pooling. Data curation is the ongoing processing and maintenance of data through its life cycle to ensure long-term accessibility, sharing, and preservation. Data curation is composed of research data management and digital preservation and involves processes such as adding metadata to make data more findable and understandable, ingesting data into a repository, validating file checksums and file fidelity checks, and other tasks for organizing, cleaning, describing, enhancing, storing, and preserving data. It is not data curation if you don't add metadata to the dataset. It is not data curation if you don't clean the data. It is not data curation if you don't describe your dataset. Data curation steps. First, identify data that is required for plant analytics applications. Map the datasets and catalog the metadata connected with them. Collect the datasets. Ingest the data into a data warehouse, a data lake, or other system. Maintain and manage the data according to ongoing analytic needs. Is the last step. First, you need to cleanse the data to fix inconsistencies, anomalies, and errors such as invalid entries, missing values, duplicate records, and spelling variations. Model, restructure, and transform the data to format it for particular analytics use. And create searchable indices of the data sets to make them available to users. And finally, maintain and manage the data. Again, the universe data curation. Now we are going to talk about data harmonization. Data harmonization refers to efforts to provide comparability of data sets from heterogeneous sources and allows for combining, pooling, or integrating them in a coherent way. It can be prospective or retrospective. The prospective approach in data harmonization occurs at the initial stage of the study design, or at least before data collection. For this, investigators agree on a common core set of variables or measures, compatible data collection tools, and standard operating procedures, often leading to a high degree of homogeneity. Retrospective harmonization approach is a flexible approach, which targets the synthesis of already collected information. For this, researchers define a core set of variables and then assess compatibility of the data and the best strategies for creating a single harmonized variable. If harmonization is possible, strategies for data processing are developed. Which are the best practices for data harmonization? First, appraisal of published and unpublished documents of the primary studies and conversations with the primary study teams. 2. gain in-depth understanding regarding the primary study methodologies and facilitate the judgment around the homogeneity of study or data sources specific factors. Second, identification of completely unidentical and completely or partially identical variables across data source, and variable harmonization, considering multiple features such as construct measurement scale use, cross-sectional or longitudinal measurement, data coding, and overlapping samples. Third, documentation of data harmonization procedures and sharing discussion with the primary study teams. Seek suggestions on data harmonization procedures used and solutions for data errors observed in the original dataset during the data harmonization process. Fourth is the agreement on data access and intellectual property from each study and ethical approval before data harmonization. Establishing the consistency of variable across two datasets before data combination. Preliminary exploration of variables in the datasets before initiating the actual harmonization to understand the variables available in the datasets, the variable coding or data management, the data distributions or the data quality and comparability. Always preserve the integrity of the original data and ensure that the original data are not lost while seeking to harmonize variables to address own research purposes and exploring unique research opportunities such as overlapping samples and data measured by multiple scales. Now moving to data cleansing subset. Data cleansing or data cleaning is an operation that is performed on the existing data to remove anomalies. Data cleansing is an operation that requires extreme care. Uh, The purpose is to obtain the data collection which is accurate and unique representation of the mini work it has. It involves eliminating the errors, resolving inconsistencies, and transforming the data into a uniform format. With the vast amount of data collected, manual data cleansing is almost impossible as it is time consuming and prone to errors. Data cleansing process is complex and consists of several stages which includes specifying the quality rules, detecting data errors, and repairing the errors. Again, data harmonization, data cleansing, now data pooling. Data pooling is putting together multiple studies into a single data set, providing opportunities to increase the statistical power of a study and to answer novel research questions that could not be addressed using data from a single study. Data pooling from existing data sources allows investigators to conduct research more rapidly and at a lower cost than primary data collection would allow, providing opportunities for time translation of knowledge into practice. Now moving to data quality, the other main subset. Data quality. From a consumer perspective, data quality is data that are fit for use by data consumers. Data that satisfies the requirements of intended use. And from a business perspective, is data that are fit for use in their intended operational decision-making or other roles, or that exhibit conformance to standards that have been set so that fitness for use is achieved. And finally, from a standards perspective, data quality is the degree to which an inherent characteristics, quality dimensions of an object data fulfills requirement. The usefulness, accuracy, and correctness of data for its application. For more information about data quality, I suggest to go into the standard ISO 8000 that has more information. Data movement or moving data is transporting and combining data in an efficient, prepared way and thinking ahead on how and where to integrate it for easy access to improve any business process from analytics to application development. Now to additional concepts. Information lifecycle management. Information lifecycle management is the practice of applying certain policies to effective information management. ILM consists of the policies, processes, practices, and tools used to align the business values of information with the most appropriate and cost-effective infrastructure from the time information is conceived through its final disposition. Now, data interoperability, the last of the concepts to be checked in this slides. Data interoperability refers to the way in data is formatted that allows diverse data sets to be merged or aggregated in meaningful ways. It is a key aspect of the FAIR data principles, constituting the I in FAIR. For data to be interoperable, they need to measure phenomena in the same way, meaning that each variable needs to ask the same question and format answers in the same questions. So, for example, if one dataset asks, what is your date of birth? And answers are formatted as dates, a second dataset that asks the age of the subject may not be interoperable with the first one without significant data cleaning. Data interoperability relies on metadata and data documentation, and those that come from the data curation process. Without proper documentation, researchers would not know which datasets and variables are comparable. Data interoperability is frequently accomplished through the use of data standards, which are community agreed upon approaches to the collection and organization of data. Data interoperability may also be accomplished through the use of common data elements, which are precisely defined questions with a set of allowable responses. Data curation is the universe where data harmonization, data quality, and data movement take place. Data curation is not the same as data harmonization, although data harmonization is part of the data curation. Follow the logical connections between terms and avoid confusions. Remember, to make mistakes is not in the power of men, but from their errors and mistakes, the wise and good learn wisdom for their future. And mistakes are costly, and somebody must pay. The time to correct a mistake is before it is made. The cause of mistakes are first, I didn't know. Second, I didn't feel. And third, I didn't care. I hope these slides try to address the first, I didn't know. The others are your call. See you